All right. Who here has heard the saying, save the date? Raise your hand if you've heard that saying before. Okay. When I tell you this story, I want you to think about what that means to you and some dates that you might self-consciously think about that mean something to you in your lifetime. So I'm going to start on October 12th of 2019, junior in high school, kind of living carefree, right? You know, you're just going about, you're playing three-sport athlete, you're in class, whatever. But my teacher comes up to me and she says, hey, you know, you're not really doing so well in this math class. We need to have a talk with your parents because you're not getting to where you need to be. So my parents, that next day, we sit down, whatever, and my teacher, the first thing she says is she looks at me and she says, I don't think you're going to graduate. If you continue on this path, you will not pass this course and you will not have a math credit and you won't graduate high school. And I don't even remember anything else she said in that meeting. I don't. Because I just blacked out. I was upset, pissed off, whatever, and I drove home really upset. But the next day she gave me an opportunity. She said, hey, listen, I have a couple of people that I know that would potentially give you a tutor. And one of them happened to be one of my good friends' grandma, right? And you're like, oh yeah, all right, this is somebody I know, that comfortability. And we would work pretty hard every day to figure that out. So we went for the next however many months. Everything was going good, still was kind of in school, and then all of a sudden another, bam, COVID. No more, you can't see her, right? But that was a blessing in disguise because every single day, and I was supposed to pay her for every time I saw her, she did not charge me for any more than once a week meeting. I met her every single day for at least 20 minutes. I sat in the front seat of my Honda freaking, oh man, I don't even remember the name of the car, CRV. And I did work there because my Wi-Fi at home wasn't good enough to support two people. So I wasn't gonna make my little brother leave the house who's in like middle school. And I went down and did it there. So fast forward a couple, you know, we work hard. I passed the exam. Life seems to be going good. And I want you to think of another day, January 6th of 2021. No, I'm not talking about the presidential raid of the Capitol, even though that was a crazy moment. I was sitting on the side of the road waiting for a game warden. For those of you, it's a conservation wildlife officer. I had an internship with him. And I look at my phone and I'm kind of scrolling back through junk emails. And then I see an email from the University of Rhode Island that says, your status has been changed. And I was like, what does that mean? What did I do? What did I not submit? And I open it up. And it says, congratulations, you have been accepted to the University of Rhode Island. And I was just like, man, wow, the first time I ever got into a school, and it was awesome, right? And I'm sitting literally in a pull-off on the side of Route 1, and probably a lot of y'all don't even know where that is, but maybe you, because you're from Vermont. But it's in the middle of nowhere, right? And I'm sitting there by myself as this goes on. I remember going home and telling my mom, I said, hey, Mom, I got some news. And she's just like, oh. Because she's watching what's going on the actual news right now. She's thinking like, what's this guy gonna tell me? And I was just like, no, I'm going to college. And that was the best feeling that I had ever had up to that point in my life, that I was able to overcome that. So I come to school, things are going pretty well. I come in with a girlfriend. Don't come into college with a girlfriend, it's a bad idea. But in late December, she broke up with me. And I kind of lost a couple of things that I was passionate about. And I remember I didn't really branch out that much because of that. And I went home and I felt like I didn't have much of anything going on for me. So on December 20th, I was home alone by myself. I walked downstairs, wooden stairs, into the unfinished basement that I have, big shoe rack, laundry all over the place because I'm not very organized. And I walked up to the workbench and I stood 3 feet away from a single shot, break action shotgun. And I thought about killing myself. I stood there for 10 minutes and looked at it and thought about if there was something worth continuing to do, if I wanted to be here. And I thought about it for a long time, and I ended up walking upstairs when I heard my brother move upstairs because I said I can't do it. And for the longest time, I told myself, if you weren't such a wimp, you would have done it. But after I got out of that headspace, I realized if you didn't have the strength and not be selfish That's why you got out of it. Because you recognize that there is something to live for and it affects something so much bigger than just you, right? And so when I came out of that spot, I came back to school, and all of these moments of getting back to friends, I joined a fraternity, I joined all these different things, I found myself. I asked my mother the other day, I said, Mom, what 3 words describe me? She said, caring, whatever, but the biggest one that she said is, you have a love for life. I refound that. I lost everything. I lost my identity. I was not Noah McLean. I wasn't social. I didn't love life. I didn't know what I was doing. But coming back into this place and being on broadcasts, being around this community, being social, the things that make me who I am brought me back to that point where now I've been able to spend 2 seasons in the NECBL, join some of the greatest things in this school, and right back to today, October 24th, 2024. I'm an intern for the Rhode Island football team. It is some of the best experience, but they have a motto, 3 more feet. So every single time I see that logo, it takes me back to think about that 3 more feet, that if I had taken that 3 more feet and picked up that shotgun, what would have changed? And every day it reminds me to stay present and keep going forward and just have a better outlook on life.
Did you always want to be a broadcaster growing up, or did that just come out of nowhere?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, I didn't have TV growing up because, like I said, I didn't have internet. So I would go out in the yard, Joe Castiglione and Dave O'Brien, Boston Red Sox, every single day. I'm out there, a little wiffle ball bat. Here goes Johnson, whatever, just pretending.
Into the night sky.
But yes, absolutely.
On the warning track.
Yeah.
Do you think you learn more from your successes or your failures?
Failures for sure. I think even getting to the headspace of where I was at is a failure, because I think, again, that was selfish and that wasn't recognizing of a lot of the things that brought me to that point were so small. They're so first world problems of dude, guess what? You're going to get up and you're going to move forward tomorrow and you're going to get better, right? And you don't think about that, but in that moment it teaches you a lesson, just take every moment appreciative, but also take a step back, similar to what Tim was saying. Take a step back and think about this before you just get all woe is me. Yeah.
Besides the Red Sox announcers, who are the broadcasters that inspire you?
Oh man, I love Dick Vitale. Hot take. I think just his raspy voice of and I hate Duke and he loves Duke, but I think that he's awesome. Man. Tim Everett, another good guy. I know he's with the Dodgers now. He was with the Red Sox before, but those are just a couple guys. And obviously there's a lot of other ones, but.
All right, opposite question. Who are your least favorite broadcasters?
Oh, dude. The broadcaster for the Oakland A's. I don't even know her name, but it doesn't give any sort of interest in watching the game.
All right, so you're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You eat your meal, and you don't have enough money to pay for the meal.
Mm-hmm.
What's your plan, and what do you do?
Okay. So I think I'm one of the best communicators. That's one of my best things, is being able to communicate with somebody. And I think I'd be straight up honest, and just go up to them and just be like, hey, listen, I didn't realize that I didn't have enough money on this. Can I come back at some other point tomorrow? Can I leave you with something and come back to make sure that, I get you the money that I need, and thank you so much for the meal. Yeah.
How do you approach your weaknesses?
I think you need to approach your weaknesses just in a positive mindset, and you just need to turn your weaknesses and find a way to turn them into opportunities to grow. So if you have a weakness, it's kind of just hey, this is something I struggle on, but maybe I'll ask somebody else who's really good at that to tell me how they kind of implement that into their lives and how I can do that myself. Yeah.
Who's your biggest inspiration for finding love for life?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with my grandparents. I have both of them tattooed. My grandpa, my grandma. I think that we made a song, like our family made a song about like their marriage. It was like a match made in heaven. You know, my uncle and I and my dad, we went to the like music studio and we literally just like made this day. It was like back in the day, 1967, two lovers stood up, a marriage made in heaven. And like we made this whole thing. So like when I think about this, like I would say my grandparents, because like no matter what, they were just always there for each other. And like I think they were just so passionate about loving each other and everything. Yeah.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and what would you do with it?
Yeah, a superpower, I think I would transport, like be able to teleport really quickly. And what would I do with it? I think I would try and help people the most I can. Because I think there's often times where I want to get to somebody or I want to do something or be there for a person, but I can't. I'm across even Narragansett, or I'm back here and I can't go home and give my mom a hug or my dad a hug, or, you know, be with my grandmother immediately after my grandfather passed away or something like that. Yeah.
I have a deeper crystal. Thank you for sharing that. I know it's not easy, and you are a very strong individual, and everyone in here, like, that goes, now that all the pictures are done, like, thank all of you for sharing what you did and being, like, vulnerable and open, and, like, speaks volumes to all of your characters, which shows how strong individual you all are. Second part of my question, do you think Champ is real?
Champ? Oh, he's real. I've seen him.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, Champ is a lake monster that lives in Lake Champlain. So,
In Burlington,
in Burlington, Vermont. Go check him out if you want to see him. Yeah.
How do you practice gratitude?
Yeah. I think living in the moment and just like seeing myself as just another person in this world. The world is massive, right? And if you come up and you have this whole like, I'm bigger, I'm better, or like, you know, I don't want to, like, what's the point of that, right? Like, if you come into your day and have an opportunity to be kind, give somebody a smile, do the best you can, but the difference is genuinely mean it, right? And like, I, you know, kind of joke all the time, I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of over all the drama, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, seriously, I just don't feel a need to buy into the things that aren't worth buying into.
What's been your best or favorite experience at URI?
I think my favorite experience at URI would probably be calling the first ever women's basketball championship, regular season A10. I think that was unbelievable, like watching confetti fall and like being on the court. Tammy Reese literally jumped into my arms afterwards, and like I was just like, hello, like, like it was really bizarre. So just having that moment of like, wow, like I just literally was a part of the broadcast for history. That was really cool.
And what advice would you give a first-year student coming in here in sports media? What advice would you give them?
Say yes. So when I was a sophomore in high school, I was a panel of Buster Olney, Galen Carr, and Tim Neverett. And the biggest thing that I took away from that is never close the door on an opportunity and always say yes. Whether it's lacrosse, baseball, football, basketball, soccer, field hockey. Field hockey sucks, by the way, but still do it, right? Like you do all these things, and I think just like saying yes and diversifying yourself to do that. Yeah.
Decline if you'd like. What would you say to that kid standing in front of that work that dragged out? If you were able to go back and kind of talk to him, what would you say?
Yeah. I think first I would just give him a hug. I don't think that person, like I said, I don't think that's me. That was a separate person from like, there's almost like a gap for a couple of months in my life where like I was a person, then I wasn't, and then I got back to that point, right? So I think I would just say like, hey, listen, these things take time, and you just got to step back and trust those around you. And like, you know, I have a great relationship with both my parents, with my brother, with my friends back at home, and just have a recognition that it's okay.